Ghanaians are known to be loving, peaceful, and welcoming people, like I've always said here. So for them to make demonstrations saying they want a particular country to leave their country, it just goes to show that there is something wrong and that those people have really offended them. But let's go deeper. Let's dive deeper into the Nigeria Must Go demonstration that just happened on the 26th of July. There are so many mixed reactions from people all over the world. And in fact, some are accusing so many external forces to be the reason behind these demonstrations.
Someone may be trying to start a war in West Africa, a war that will potentially drag in Russia and NATO. Here's some context. So in July 2023, following its revolutionary coup and the subsequent attempted military invasion by Nigeria, Nigeria aligned itself with its neighbors Burkina Faso and Mali into something called the Alliance of Sahelian States, which adopted new geopolitical and security partnerships with Russia, Turkey, and North Korea, among others. So you had these guys on one hand, and then at the other end of the ideological spectrum in West Africa, you had the likes of Nigeria, Benin, and Cote d'Ivoire, which were and are very much Western aligned. And sitting at the physical and metaphorical center of this tinderbox is Ghana. Now in January, Ghana's new president, John Mahama, embarked on a diplomatic charm offensive. You might recall when these images went viral as Ibrahim Traore visited Ghana for Mahama's presidential inauguration. Since then, the Ghanaian port of Tema has become a key port for the landlocked Sahelian alliance, and Mahama has deepened that partnership while still maintaining close diplomatic partnership between Ghana and its Western aligned neighbors like Nigeria. Basically, Mahama's Ghana is the diplomatic glue that maintains peace and regional stability in West Africa. But here's where a third party comes in. So if you recall, in July 2024, suspiciously well-armed terrorists in northern Mali ambushed a group of Malian soldiers and Russian private military contractors, killing at least 47 Malians and 84 Russians. In the aftermath, Ukraine proudly claimed credit for facilitating this attack as part of its purported global war on Russia. The Sahelian alliance promptly dispatched the complaints to the UN Security Council and cut all diplomatic ties with Ukraine. Now, fast forward 12 months, and on July 11, 2025, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky tweeted this, claiming that Ghana had agreed multiple sovereign deals with Ukraine, including buying Ukrainian drones and deploying Ukrainian soldiers to protect Ghana's borders. For context, Ghana has a northern border with Burkina Faso that stretches over 600 kilometers. So if you're the Sahelian alliance and you've cut off all diplomatic ties with Ukraine because they helped terrorists murder 47 of your soldiers, how would you interpret a neighboring country you share 600 kilometers with, agreeing to import Ukrainian drones and troops, and then to protect its borders? From who exactly? You see where this is going. Well, it turned out that Zelensky made the whole thing up. There was no such agreement. While he did have a private telephone conversation with John Mahama, he thoroughly mischaracterized it on Twitter. And he did so very publicly in a way that was calculated to create the maximum possible diplomatic friction between Ghana and its Sahelian neighbors. In fact, a number of news platforms even erroneously picked up the false story. But that wasn't all. Almost concurrently as this was happening, a video started making the rounds across Ghanaian social media, depicting a Nigerian man declaring a plan to create a Nigerian ethnic kingdom inside Ghana. And while this was happening, an obviously inorganic hashtag, Nigeria Must Go, which was being pushed by a network of bot accounts, also began doing the rounds. And in fact, this botnet began promoting a purported public demonstration to demand the expulsion of Nigerians from Ghana. Some accounts within this botnet even attempted to inflame tensions further by them pretending to be Nigerians calling for a military invasion of Ghana. Thankfully, Ghana's foreign minister waded in and doused the controversy, revealing that the video making the rounds was an old video recorded in 2013. Exactly how this video was stripped of all its identifying context and repurposed into viral fuel for a clearly inauthentic online political action campaign remains unclear. Now, about a week before all of this happened, Frida Anong, a diplomat working at Ghana's High Commission in Nigeria, was brutally tortured and murdered on her way home from work in Abuja. And then just a few days after this, the official residence of Ghana's ambassador to Nigeria in Abuja suffered a burglary. It almost seemed like a deliberate sequence of events intended to simultaneously infuriate the Ghanaian authorities and escalate anti-Nigerian sentiment among Ghanaian people. Now, these could all be random, unconnected, unfortunate events that so happened to take place within 11 days of each other in July 2025, but that would explain why someone paid for a social media bot campaign that tried to create international tensions in what is West Africa's oasis of stability. And why did Mr. Zelensky so publicly try to pit Ghana against its Sahelian neighbors? To what end? Because if you're a third party trying to start a war in West Africa, this is pretty much exactly how we'd go about it. You would go after the country that is a trusted trading partner and diplomatic ally of both the eastern-leaning Sahel and western-leaning Nigeria, and you would try to isolate and destabilize it by creating multiple diplomatic disputes with these allies, so that in the resulting leadership vacuum with that country out of the way, fireworks could then begin to fly. Thankfully, Ghana didn't bite the bait. Thank goodness for that.
Ghana must go is what was trending many years back, and right now it is Nigeria must go. So Ghanaians are protesting against Nigerians, and this is why. So a Nigerian man who is Igbo by tribe is presently in Ghana right now buying acres of land. I think they said 50 acres of land, planning to build a palace in Ghana, bring down Nigerians to that place to come and rule. Like he's going to be ruling them there as their king in another man's country, another man's land. Let's say reverse was the case and a Ghanaian came to Nigeria to say he wants to buy plots of land in Nigeria, build a palace, and then bring down his people to come and be serving him in another man's country. I don't understand. There's some level of audacity that some people have that I don't get it. Now, would you blame Ghanaians for shouting Nigeria must go? I don't blame them. I cannot blame them, because that is you trying to take over their territory. From a small acre of land today, the next thing you are taking over the whole country. Make it make sense. Don't dish out what you know you cannot take, like you cannot just chew, you cannot accept. To think that this same man could have actually used this money to build a refinery, a company here in Nigeria. We have jobless youths walking up and down. Build a company, employ them, give them jobs, so the rate of unemployment can reduce, even if not completely. Is it not too much, Nigerians? Which one? I know Nigeria and Ghana are not in the same page, but then again, there are some things that are really uncalled for. Hey, God, I beg you. I come in peace.
Hey guys, listen to this.
Nigeria must go. Where? To where are we going? We're not going anywhere. We're going to be there with you in your country in Ghana. Nigerians have been settling in Ghana way back the 20s and the 30s. In fact, one of the biggest markets in Ghana is in Mokola, after a lot of Nigerians that went out there. All of this started as a political gimmick in the 60s when Kofi Bosia had this Ordinance Act to remove illegal migrants. A lot of Nigerians were removed. In 83, Nigerians still had a lot of problem with the economy. We blamed illegal migrants. So we pushed Ghanaians out. But does this settle the matter? No. Ralph Waldo Emerson said what lies before us and what lies behind us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. A lot lies within us, Nigerians and Ghana. Where are we going to push ourselves? Famous Ghanaian journalist Komla Dumo lived and grew up in Nigeria at some point. The current Nigerian president, Ghanaian president, lives around Kwara State in Nigeria. All right. The same too can be said for many Nigerians out there in Ghana. What we should do is, how can we collectively fight the perpetrators of evil and the vice and solve it? And this matter that they're escalating. In fact, the AZ has come out and said that he means nothing of such. What they just did was they went to whip up segment from an old interview of something that never existed. And he has clarified that, so we cannot allow it. Nigerians are not going anywhere. We must.
Nigerians, please have love for your country and stop misbehaving in other people's country and giving your country a bad name and causing problems for other peaceful Nigerians living in other people's country. Yesterday, the 26th of July, there was a protest here in Ghana about Igbo must go protest. This protest attended by many Ghanaians was championed by some Ghanaian opposition politicians. Yes. There have been several crimes committed recently in Ghana by Nigerian citizens living here in Ghana illegally. Unaliving of people, kidnapping. Most of them, after the arrest, they realize the perpetrators are Nigerian nationals. Like the taxi driver who was unalive recently, and his car has been taken away by some Nigerian nationals heading towards Aflao. Unfortunately, Ghana police were able to arrest them after stopping and demanding documents to the vehicle. They have to later come and show the police where the victim, who is the driver, was unalive by these three Nigerian guys and thrown in the bush. A young guy. There are other instances of a Nigerian tenant who organized guys to buy his landlord. There are instances of another shop owner whose co-tenant, who is a Nigerian, organized crews to come and unalive this guy. There are a lot of, issues. Why do you perform or commit crimes that will affect other peaceful businessmen living peacefully in Ghana? I know some other Nigerians who are living here doing genuine business and making genuine money. Have in mind that any crime you commit, it will affect your people. They are peaceful people who are here doing peaceful businesses. And you go, because of your selfish interest, you have no love for your country. So you can go ahead, because of the small money you put in your pocket, doing dangerous things, committing crimes, unaliving people in another person's land. Why will you carry your bad character from your country to another country? This is what is happening. This is what is happening in South Africa. Nigerians leave their country, go to South Africa, form bad associations, and then start committing heinous crimes. We were here, we saw xenophobia. People attacking and protesting Nigerians have to leave their country. There are other countries all over the world, people are fed up with crimes perpetrated by Nigerian nationals. Initially, I wasn't really in support of protesting that Nigerians must go. But sometimes when you look at crimes committed, some of the crimes being committed today in Ghana, if you look at the genesis, they were taught by Nigerians. Because kidnapping, some years ago, Ghanaians know nothing about kidnapping. You can walk around anytime, your children can walk around anytime. But now this goes to the igboking in Ghana. The so-called, we recognize him as the leader of the Igbos in Ghana, not a king, because we have kingdoms already here in Ghana, and we don't expect any foreigner to have a kingdom here in Ghana. You must do something to ensure that your people are put to check. Your people do not commit crime that affect all Nigerians in the country. Ghanaians see every Nigerian as a Nigerian, whether Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, or other tribes that you have in Nigeria. To ensure these crimes are put to check, please assist us, because once Ghana police keep arresting criminals and it turned up that these people committing these high-level crimes are Nigerian nationals, then it will give a bad name, and the youth will not be comfortable to stay within a community that have Nigerians. Go to Kaswa, go to Liberia camp, Kaswa, Bujumburam, all those places. Nigerians with us. Which Ghanaians are now seeing these things. We were living very peaceful life. Most of them learned all this radical lifestyle from some Nigerians that were living within them. So have in mind that any crime you are committing may not affect only you, it will also affect your citizens or your co-Nigerians living in this country, even the peaceful ones, because they will all be seen as having almost the same mindset.
You're welcome to my channel. I'm Delicious Army. Here I talk Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and all the good stuff relating to them. According to that newscaster, he said Nigerians are not going anywhere, that Ghanaians have no right to tell Nigerians to leave their country. Hey, I've never seen where you will say you don't want somebody, the person will say, I'm going nowhere. Nigeria-Ghana relationship is just like a toxic marriage. No matter how you tell the woman you don't want, or the man you don't want, the man will just be there saying, I believe one day God will touch his mind. According to Nigerian journalist David Hudenyin, he has his own strong opinions that this Nigerian Moscow protest is sponsored by the West. He feels that they are doing all these things to destabilize John Dramani Mahama's administration, and he feels that all these attacks are coming because John Mahama is in good, times with Ibrahim Traore. He feels that because John Mahama is not, with the West in chastising and castigating Ibrahim Traore, that is why they are trying everything possible to destabilize his government. Like I always say here in my channel, everybody's opinion is welcomed, so long as you are not throwing insults. David Hudenyin said a lot of things that got me thinking, hopefully this is not what is happening, oh. But come to think of it, the things some of our Nigerian people are doing, is that one also sponsored? Is that one also sponsored? Some of the things our Nigerian brothers are doing that is not good in the air, is that one also sponsored? That one too is not sponsored now. Eh? So I just feel like what David Hudenyin is just trying to say is that there are some people that are trying to capitalize on the things the Nigerian people are doing to create chaos in Ghana. You know, I've been saying over here that all over the world there's chaos, even here in Africa, but Ghana seems to be the only country that is enjoying, in fact, a reasonable amount of peace. So it looks like there's people somewhere who do not want that to continue. They want Ghana to also be in chaos, because come to think of it, it's in Nigeria we hear about this kidnapping, taxi this, taxi that, and suddenly, just suddenly, the past 2 weeks, everywhere you go to in Ghana's media, it is all about kidnapping and trotro drivers snatching bags. So it's either these things have been happening and they've not been reported, or they just started overnight. Let's say it has been happening, but not with the frequency we are hearing now. Because I watch a lot of Ghanaian news. Everybody is talking about the same thing. Like it has gone so rampant that I'm like, what's going on here? In the space of just 2 weeks, more Ghanaian peace cannot be negotiated though. Ghana has been known for its peaceful nature, and I believe even the Ghanaian people are fighting so hard to ensure that they keep it. That is why they had a peaceful demonstration, because nothing stopped them to go into the Nigerian shops or the Nigerian homes and commit chaos. But you can see how they did their demonstration. Despite how angry they were, they still tried their best to ensure that it was peaceful. So whoever that are trying to destabilize Ghana, their plan will not work. Oh. Their plan will not work. That's why I'm telling the Ghanaian people to use wisdom in handling this issue. Because trust me, if you have any Nigerian who is pushing you as a Ghanaian, telling you to go into Nigerian houses and go and do one or two things, trust me, they want your country to be like Nigeria, where they don't have peace of mind. That thing that made them leave Nigeria to come down to Ghana, they want your own country to be like that, so that Nigeria and Ghana will be the same. I'm just telling you, you can still come and argue with me in the comment section. But you know me, I will still tell you the truth, no matter how hard it is. Protect your country's peace with your life. Handle matters diplomatically. Use wisdom. Use wisdom. Said my own, Nigerians in Ghana, do better. If not, come back home and continue your nuisance here. But lovelies, that's all I have for you in this video. What do you think? What is your opinion about this trending issue? Feel free to drop yours in the comment section. I'm Delicious Army. Here I talk Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and all the good stuff related to them. I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye bye.